Yo, what's up guys? Cypher Duel's back at it again with another deck profile. This week, we're here. We're back. Vampire number 2. You guys remember the first Vampire deck? Well, this one's a million times better because I actually kind of know what these cards do. We got the new Zombo support, and we're closer to making this deck how I think Vampires should be played. I might have a second version of this. Might, if I can figure it out. Going down. Don't you dare show me an Amorphage card ever again. So, thanks Mark. We're gonna get right into this. So we got 3 copies of Vampire Scarlet Scourge. So when he's normal or special summoned, you target a vamp in grave and special summon it, but it can't attack this turn. And then he has the shared new vampire effect where if he destroys a monster by battle, you special it to your field at the end of the battle phase. And it's 1,000 life points for his first effect. So all the new ones involve paying life points and taking opponent's monsters. So Scarlet Scourge is a definite 3 of. Very good guy. One copy of Grace. Grace is bad, but she helps you extend. So if she is in grave, when a level 5 or higher zombie is special to your side of the field by the effect of a zombie monster, you pay 2,000 life points and bring her out. And then she has the 2nd gen vampire effect, or I guess technically the 1st gen vampire effect, of making your opponent mill cards, which sounds good in theory, but then, you know, so that will probably never ever come up. We got 1 Shadow Vampire, so all the vampires now are like searchable, and Shadow Vampire's effect only hits off of being normal summoned, so he's a lot more situational than he used to be. I would love to play him at 3, because when he's normal summoned, you get any vampire from your deck. It's just so good, but, you know, at 1, he's searchable, you have your extra normal summon cards, I think it's fine. I got 2 copies of Vampire Duke. He's similar to Scarlet Scourge. When he's normal summoned, you target a dark vampire in your grave and special it in defense. And then if he's special summoned, he's the mill effect. And he can only be used for the exceed summon of a dark monster. So, dark zombie, I think. No, just dark. That's cool. 3 copies of the best vampire card in the game, Vampire Full Wine. So when a monster declares an attack, yeah, you can special her from your hand. And then during battle between your monster and opponent's monster, right? Yeah. When your zombie monster battles an opponent's monster, you can pay life points in multiples of 100. It's up to 3,000, and then your monster gains that much attack and defense for the turn. And then the same, you know, Neo zombie effect, take monsters. She is probably never going to take a monster with that nice 600 attack. Yeah. And then the last main deck zombies we play are 2 copies of Retainer and 2 copies of Familiar. So they each can special summon themselves from grave by paying 500 life points and discarding or sending a zombie card from your hand or field to grave. And then when they're special summoned, they gain separate effects. So Familiar will search a monster and Retainer will search a spell or trap. So your best setup plays are to dump them to grave somehow, you know, special them back out, get some searches going, get some nice plays. Onto some regular Zambos. Triple Mizuki, you need it. Mizuki's a pretty good guy. Doesn't afraid of anything. 1 Spirit Master. I love Spirit Master. Good card. Needs a holo. You can play 2 of them. You know, when he's banished, pop a card. When he's normal summoned, you special Ashirnu from your hand or graveyard, accept him. So a Goblinberg, pretty much. He's a very, very good card. Triple copies of Solitaire. Lone Fire Blossom for Zombos. Special summon, you know, zombie tuner with 0 defense. And then if he's banished, you target a Shiranui that's banished except Solitaire and special summon. Whew. 2 Unizombie. You could play 3. I've always liked 2. I don't like hard drawing him. I always like to get Solitaire and go, but 2 gives you the possibility of also hard drawing it in case you don't get your Solitaire. So, you know, it's 5 cards out of 40. You have a higher chance of getting to him faster. And the last monster we play is 1 Glow Up Bloom. He's one of the new Zambos, so when he's sent to grave, you can banish him to search a level 5 or higher zombie. And if Zombie World is on the field, you could special it instead. And then you can only special summon zombies for the rest of the turn. I don't play Zombie World, so it's only going to be searching, but you can just send it straight off of Unizombie, straight off of some other cards, Foolish, stuff like that. So, very good. Onto spells. Triple Allure for consistency, you know, we are playing vampires after all. All of our level 5 monsters here are pretty good. Uno Foolish and Uno Monster Reborn, just for making plays. Triple copies of Vampire's Desire, so I have to kind of remember what this card does. So you target a monster you control, and then you send a vampire with a different level than that from your deck to grave, and then that monster becomes that level. Or you target a vampire in your grave, and you send a monster you control to grave, and then special summon that vampire. So it's both a Monster Reborn and a Foolish in the same card. So it's really good. We play 2 copies of Zombie Necronize. So this card is the nuts. It's broken. The nuts, like Basin says. If a level 5 or higher zombie is on the field, you can target a monster your opponent controls and take control of it. And then if this is in grave, you can shuffle a banished zombie back into the deck. You set it, and then it's banished when it leaves the field the next time. So, just really, really good card. Takes your opponent's monsters. If you don't know, Dhampir lets you treat any monster with a level that your opponent owns as a level 6 for his Exceed Summon. So, very, very good. And the last spell we play is 3 copies of Vampire's Domain. So this card just lets you get extra normal summons for the measly, measly cost of 500 life points. It's only once during the turn, and then each time your vampire monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you gain life points equal to the damage. So Vampire's Domain is a very, very good card. And the last card we play is 3 trap cards. We play 3 copies of Vampire Domination. So it is effectively Solemn Judgment when you control a vampire, and then if you negate a monster's effects with it, you gain that monster's attack as life points. So since life points are your resources with these new vampires, you really, really need to play something like this. I wanted to take it out to fit in more room for some dumb meme trash, but I don't see any way that I could work it out. So that's it for main deck. We'll move on to extra deck now. 15 cards. You know, you can see the difference in sleeves there. So we got 1 copy of Beals, you know, big, level 8 synchro guy, doesn't afraid of anything, very strong man. 1 copy of the best zombie card ever made, Shiranui Soken Saga. So, you know, you synchro summon him, you banish the zombie from your grave, and he gains their attack, and he beats over people really, really hard. I know Mark is a fan of when I used to do that.
No, I wasn't.
We got 1 copy of Poor Boy Limited, Cypher Immortal Omega. This is the zombie boss monster. He finally got limited, guys. You no longer have to fear getting Omega twice in a turn, starting your hand with 5 cards, or 4 cards. And then we play 1 copy of the new Red Eyes Synchro, Zombie Necro Dragon. So he shares that vampire effect, he's YuGiOh, when he destroys something by battle. But then he also gains 100 attack and defense for each zombie on the field and in the graveyards. So he is just very, very strong. Yeah, he's generic, but the condition that it has to be a zombie monster that's destroyed by battle does make him a little less useful. But with something like Sucker, you can just straight up special summon something and then make it a zombie. So, and he targets the zombie in either graveyard and specials it.
This card, though.
This card, this is a meme. Whoa, I'm getting dizzy. It's the bang. Shout out, trademark. So Shooting Riser Dragon. So he's a level 7 synchro tuner. And his literal only use in this deck is that when he's synchro summoned, you you send a card from your deck to the graveyard, pretty much. A monster, and then he loses that monster's level. So, you know, send a Mizuki, bam, he's now a level 3 synchro tuner. What can you do with that? Well, technically you can summon Crystal Wing if you really wanted to in this deck. But most likely you would just do it to make something dumb like this. You know, something like this. This one, because he's not a zombie, so you can't summon this, and he's not a dark, so you can't summon Beals. But he exists to mill cards. That's what he exists. That is his purpose in life. Onto the Exceeds, we play 2 copies of Dhampir, Vampire Sheridan. Very, very good card. He's 2+ level 6 monsters, so you know, 2+. Very, very good stuff. So if you use a monster owned by your opponent as this material, like I said before, you can treat it as a level 6 if it has a level. So no matter what, if it could be a level 12, it could be Zolkin. You know, level 0, he's treated as level 12. Well, not because of Dhampir, he doesn't give a fuck. He says, you're level 6, and you're mine. So, and then anytime a monster your opponent controls is sent to the graveyard by battle or card effect, you can detach a material and take control of it, pretty much. Like, he's a really, really good card. Dhampir is actually insanely good. The only other exceed I play is Vampire Bram, and I can see taking this guy out because I have like 3 level 5s. Other than, you know, Unizombie, who I can make a level 5. But what do you do again?
This just keeps coming back.
He Monster Reborns and he can come back. So, you know, he's Vampire Bram. He's old. He's OG. He's second wave vampire. Alright, onto the links. We got a Summon Sorceress, you know, Summon Zambos. Super Zambo card. That is only good in zombies, no other decks, just so you know. I'm sure you know what Summon Sorceress does at this point. Same thing with these 3. Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus.
I know Griffin, dude.
Because Griffin sucks. We have no Link Force because we're never going to get that many monsters on board. Alright, now we got 2 copies of Vampire Sucker. Chupo Vampire. So she's 2 Zambo monsters, you know. If you tribute a monster for a tribute summon, you can tribute a zombie monster your opponent controls instead. And then once per turn, you can activate these effects. You target a monster in your opponent's graveyard and special it to their field and defense, but it becomes a zombie. And then if a zombie monster is special from either graveyard, you draw a card. So, you know, the worst secret rare in Flames of Destruction, and it's still like a really good card. Beautiful. Vampire Sucker. And last card we play, 1 Link Karibo for 2 level 1 monsters. We did it, boys. But you know, it's a decent way to get what's his face to grave. Familiar. Yeah. Alright. I don't know. He's in here somewhere.
The bat looking dude.
Yeah, Familiar. There we go. You get him to grave so you can discard something to special him out and get a search off of it. And then you just have a Link Karibo on board, which is, you know,
Okay.
it's pretty cool. If you made Gumblar, you can leave it there and have it linked to the Gumblar tribute special summon, and then you know, loop 2 cards with Gumblar. That's how Gumblar works, Mark. You look so confused. Anyways, that's it. You know, 15 card extra. Like I said, I might be working on a separate variant of this that focuses more on owning your opponent's monsters, pretty much. Which will be pretty cool stuff. You know, with mind controls and meme Lord Trash stuff that I usually like to play. You should know me by now with my deck profiles. I like to play meme cards like Card Destruction and Black Wings. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be it for this one. Mark, you got anything to say?
Give us some feedback, guys. We're coming back, guys. We're back in it, boys.
Grove Street.
Where we dropping.
Oh.
Alright, guys, leave some comments. Let's share some love. Please like, subscribe. Remember to check out the TCG store, Sora Online. That's us. With that being said, Stuff Red Duelist signing out. Peace.